Hello, students. Welcome to my 8th and final, yay, discussion on Chapter 6 on the time value of money. I'll bet that you're as happy as I am that we're almost done, huh? Our discussion today will focus on deferred annuities. Let's get started. The topic of deferred annuities is covered in the current textbook on page 331. So using present value charts and time value of money calculators are great, except that they require we have a constant rate of interest, equal periods of time, and in the case of annuities, constant dollar amounts. And occasionally one of those variables break down. So we need to learn how to use those tools, but to alter our approach in using them. I'm going to do an example with you, but want you to know that there are so many different examples you could make that you just need to learn how to think about what it is you're trying to do. I recommend time charts. Here's a question for you. What's the present value of 3 payments to be received at the end of 2017, 18, and 19 on January 1st, 2015, if the interest rate is 10%? Well, right off the bat, I think it's time to make a time diagram with dollar amounts on it so you can get a feel for what it's looking at. So we're saying we're wondering what the value is today, and you can see I put my question mark right here, of this cash flow stream. I'm going to receive $10,000 at the end of 2017, $20,000 at the end of 2018, and $25,000 end of 2019. But I have to wait to receive those payments, or I want to bring those payments back to the present value today, which I'm assuming is January 1st, 2015. Well, as you can see, the payment amount has broken down and the timing is broken down. And it would have been just as easy to break the interest rate down, but I decided to leave at least one thing constant. It wouldn't have been hard to fix So, what can we do to get the present value of those today, recognizing that they don't lend themselves easily to time value of money charts or calculators? I know from what I know about time value of money that I have 3 payments, 10,000, 20,000, and 25,000. They're not an annuity, they're uneven payments. And so I need to bring them back to 2015. My approach will bring all 3 of them back to the beginning of 2017 and then bring that number itself back to 2015. That's my approach. There are other ways that this could be done. So the $10,000, if you're at the end of 2017 and you want to come back to the beginning of it, will be one period with an interest rate of 10%. So that $10,000 is worth $9,090. The $20,000 needs to come back 2 years, 2018 to the beginning of 2017. So I take the $20,000 and times it by a present value interest factor from table 2. N equals 2 and I equals 10%, and that's 0.82645. The present value of that $20,000 is therefore $16,529. And the third payment needs to come back 3 years. So the 25,000, where N equals 3 and I equals 10. The interest factor is 0.75131, so that 25,000 is worth 18,782. I held the interest rate constant, but I wouldn't have needed to. I could just have adjusted which column I went to on table 2. So bring those back to the beginning of 2017 and you'll see that those 3 payments at the beginning of 2017 would be equal to 44,401. Now I need to bring that number from this point back to this point. So I need to bring 44,401 back 2 years, from 1/1/17 to 1/1/16 to 1/1/15. And so n equals 2 and I equals 10 from a present value factor on table 2 being 0.82645. The 44,401 times that interest factor is 36,695. And so the answer to my question is that particular payment stream is equal to $36,695. There's a variety of ways you could have done this. How would you have picked? This is just mine. What I wanted to demonstrate was that I could bring numbers back to any point in time that were individual and then bring them back as a group from there if I wanted to. This will come in handy many times in our studies of intermediate accounting. I'm so excited. I can't wait. Won't you find it? Here it comes. Interesting. Crack myself up. So, finish off by reading pages 337 and 338. See what your author has to say. He did something similar. I have something I'd like to say to you as we finish up this chapter. I suggest you work several problems at the end of the chapter. Use the solutions manual to grade them. This concept will be with us in the majority of the chapters that we have left to cover in 2310 and in almost every chapter in 2410. So it would just make sense that you get as good as this as you can. This is also an item that's assessed out of intermediate accounting, how well students can do present value analysis, really time value of money analysis. So work with me on this, do your best, learn this as well as you can, and let's see where it takes us down the road. Thank you so much for joining me on this, our last topic. You have a great day. Talk to you soon.